Okay, the little plastic piece on the indicator, the 150 foot-pound torque wrench, came off, got lost, so I just used a piece of old spring, put 5-minute epoxy and then some Day-Glow orange glow on there for the indicator. This is a half-inch drive Craftsman 150 foot-pound torque wrench I've had since, I want to say, high school. It's a 44-642, and that's my retrofit. It was gluing on a toothpick, it would go ahead and fall off. This is a 150 foot-pound Craftsman torque wrench beam bar that the pointer got lost, and so it's been bugging me. So I was going to buy a new one. I said, what the heck, let me just glue a pointer on there. So what I've got is a old spring off an old printer that got junked, and I've got it, took a spring, cut it apart, and I've got some DevCon 5-minute epoxy, and it's just stuck on the pointer. I wrapped the bendable part with some tape so I can take it off, get the glue off. But I'm going to paint the end of that probably hot orange or something like that. And I wasn't just going to glue up, used to glue a toothpick on there, I always break off, so I went ahead and ground the shaft right here on the pointer. That doesn't affect the torque, the small one. And just to rough it up, and then the spring in there I cut apart. Actually, I ground the edge with the grinder. It was soda grinder, and I put 5-minute epoxy in there. I'm kind of rotating this around so it doesn't drool in one direction. If it doesn't line up, you can bend the smaller bar through here. It's a glow orange, 1 ounce. Got that at Ace Hardware. Use this on meters, needles on electrical meters and speedometers. With that type of application, you have to worry about the balance because you're adding a mass on there with more paint. Usually you've got something where you've got to move a clip on there to, you'll add extra mass. It doesn't make any difference on this torque wrench. So that's some frog tape on there. Once it's dry, I'll pull that off. It's a new indicator I put on here, the Craftsman 150 foot-pound beam torque wrench. Had this forever. It's a 44-642. The little plastic piece used to fall off, and it was in a box of tools and somehow has grown legs. But used a piece of spring, and then I went through and painted it with some Day-Glow orange, and it should be dry fairly soon. And the spring wires, generally, it's either going to be stainless steel or it might be 1085 spring steel or 1095 steel. There's some of the DevCon. I was going to use some JB Weld here, but the stuff on here, this is the slow curing stuff. So I ended up using the old DevCon 5-minute. I get that from Lowe's. Used to get that years ago, big quantity. Each one of these is 4 ounces. Lighter type stuff here, this is October 2005. It seems to last forever, whereas the hardener here, the container actually has a leak in it, so I wrapped it with tape, and it just kind of barely, hard to get it out of there, but it still hardens up. And when you got this on a steel piece here like this, it tends to suck the heat out of it some, so it's finally going to harden up. The clothespins are just to bias it off the bar because it keeps it in one touch down there. That's about it.